truly sorry that I'm making another episode of this so soon. I wouldn't have to if this wasn't a thing. Rainbow Six Siege was supposed to be done today. I'm supposed to be making a video on that right now with Ryan, but instead, we're stuck on the island, which is not a bad thing. It's just that the last video I made was of Junior's Empire. I don't like making so many videos of the same content.
My god, Doctor, I think I'm fucking dead.
I can't say anything because he can't hear me. Because I don't want to become a channel that can only post one thing because the fans only love one thing. But it's the only thing I can post right now, so I'd rather post something than nothing at all. Although there will probably be a different video before this one, so I don't know. I'm probably just talking out my butt right now. So I've added a farmer's market because it dawned on me that the only place you can buy produce on the entire island is in Inferno Ash. And over here is the property of Inferno Ash as well, just to let you know. And I found an issue with the Junior's Pub and Grub. You can go through the island, or you can shortcut the island and go to Inferno Ash through Junior's Pub and Grub, but Ryan said that there's security on the island, so we don't necessarily have to worry about that per se. Also, he changed up his house. I thought it was ugly, so I added the white trim around it and the cobblestone. And you also may be thinking, but probably not, wasn't there beacons here before? Yes, there were. I thought of an idea last night because we had a concert, and I thought it would be cool if we could shut down the beacons, which this is what this is. And all of them powering up sounds so cool. And then, if you want to start up the actual, like, strobing effect of the whatchamadoohickeys, you can do... Oh, wait. I don't know how to operate one of these. Okay, I think I did it. So when those are activated, it changes colors. And it's partially random, but it's random in the fact that it has a pattern to it. Okay, maybe I lied. But this is rather lag-inducing. Same with if you activate the... Like I've shown you before, when you activate the dance floor. That's super laggy, but... Wait for it. Sounds so cool! It's just a little bit more detail to add to the island and make it a little bit more immersive. Plus, it would save on the power bill a lot. Because having beacons running constantly with all the ones that we have now, it would be kinda cool, but useless to have one for the vault. That's what this is right here. That's what these beacons are. And I've already showed that off, so I won't do that again. But we have a lot of beacons running all the time, and we don't shut them down, so that's the same as all the time. It just uses a lot of energy, which really wouldn't be that big of a deal considering we have this for our metabolizer, but to be honest, it runs out of energy quite quickly. We have to make sure that it can't have too much energy at one time, otherwise it would break itself, literally, and that would cause issues. I don't know why that does that. I don't know why a weird shadow appears there. The core entered its 55th stage as well, and the big crack down the middle right there is part of it. So it had a minor space quake, but it wasn't enough to cause any damage on the island. It just caused damage to itself. So if you remember, the core was much more open before, but now it's closed off. Wow, the top looks really cool on that. And the reason that is because I wanted to change that. I wanted to make it more closed off. And on the inside of it looks so cool to me. I love it. I'm not quite sure how I get in it though. Yeah, like right here. This looks so cool. Just seeing the vines go down, and that jungle wood down there is the... We used to have a house in here. Back on It's Jerry and Harry's server. I almost said back on the island. If I say that accidentally, back on the island, I mean back on It's Jerry and Harry's server, just to let you know. So we made a storyline thing for it that this building in here was very old, and it was actually connected with a glass bridge back when we didn't really care about the physics or storyline of the island. We just had one. I mean, back on the island, or back on the server, way back, the main thing on the island was the core, but it was way smaller. Way smaller. And it didn't have as much of an impact on the island as it did now. The only impact it really had was a mistake. But now it's the main life provider for it, and then as I said with the KMT, debris from space gets sucked into through the KMT, and then it gets transported into the core's heart. The core's heart utilizes it as energy, and then it's all fine and dandy because then it powers the island. And since the island expanded, we have to eat a lot more space dust and particles and stuff like that to power the island now, because a lot more stuff has a lot more energy to consume. Especially with the school. There is light beams under there that they're not even exposed. So they're under there for no apparent reason other than heating the floors. That's how luxurious our school is. It has self-heating floors. Also, sea lanterns. I don't know if I've discussed this or not. They're the much more safer, cleaner, and better way to use lighting sources on the island now, because they're not sea lanterns, they're a source of light rather than glowstone where it's radioactive. Except for this, we've harnessed different power conduits throughout different buildings to harness the different power conduits in different buildings. So if I didn't phrase that correctly, what that means is we can turn the knob of how much power is being pushed into one building down. So in here, we obviously have the power turned down, otherwise it would irradiate. Yeah, I think that's the correct word. It would make the water very icky and unsustainable. And plus we have a water purifier, so it purifies this water from the tank that we get from the auto-reproducing water tank that the sun hits it. We have special glass there that looks no different than the other glass that's being on the outside protective barrier, or this glass here. We're that good. And then it splits the molecules. I've already discussed this. This is the one with the science thumbnail. So that water goes down to here. It's not clean, well, at least not enough to drink, and then it goes into here. We we clean that. The water from in there goes into here as well. We clean that, and then we filter all the unneeded stuff back into here, so it helps out the turtles. There was a lot more animals in there, or fish, but they despawned for some reason, and then the blue tube goes into there, and it provides water to the entire island. So Ashtonburg is entirely responsible for the water supply on the island. So if something happens to that, I'm going to have a little chat with Haley, even though she doesn't exist yet. Over here, we're in debt. I mean, we're not in debt because of over here. We're in debt because we went way over our budget with expanding on the island. So we had $6 billion back in the island, which was really $6 million. But the currency on this is way different than the currency on the server. And we got a $4 million deal from Airsville. So we had roughly around $10.9 billion to spend on this expansion, and that wasn't enough. We had $11.4 billion invested into this entire project so far. And that mainly, what that came from was these. It was the stuff we got from Earth, the stuff we KMT'd out. Or wait, no. Well, I guess it would be, yeah, because taking this stuff 7 million light years across the universe, it's kind of stupid. So what happened is we tractor beam it down into the Earth, kind of like the Weather Storm tractor beam, because it's purple as well. We suck it out of the Earth after buying it because, as I said before, the first impressions of us interacting with Earth, someone seeing a giant purple beam being shot down into the ocean on their ship and it being sucked out into the sky, that probably wouldn't give off the best message to the Earthlings. So instead of potentially stealing land from Earth, even though we can steal from anywhere else, Earth is what we're familiar with because Ryan and I are obviously from Earth, but in roleplay aspects, we're from Earth as well. I know my mic is moite because I'm describing something in a video.
Come over here.
I missed it!
It will indeed take much longer to finish, but I have the redstone finished on the staircase for a couple pieces.
How did you do this?
What?
Do this. Do the wall.
The water launcher?
Yeah.
I just dug down and then broke a hole right here.
Oh, what does that look like? It looks like something. Oh, Subnauseous. It looks like the elevator from Subnauseous.
Walk up the stairs a little bit. Right in the middle.
What the frick?
You gotta do it quick enough. See See, so when you're going on a boat, boats can still set on ice. So you'll be going fast, and you'll go boop, boop, boop.
But how are you going to be on a boat but go underwater?
Well, what I'm gonna have, because boats do sink in this.
Ooh, really?
What I'm hoping is that if I can get a good enough drop off, if I get just like a normal ladder or something to go up to the actual thing, you'll start going slightly from a building I can set up, and then you'll fall off and you'll go all the way down and go kershplunk, and then sink all the way down to the bottom, and then come over here. If not, I'll just cover up the water and make it so you just fall down into a pool of water. And then you'll be able to drive forward, get a bunch of speed, and then go badoop, as long as you're in the middle. Badoop, badoop, badoop. Keep going.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be cool. So these parts of land actually cost quite a bit compared to materials we used to get on the island, because on the island we got our materials from another island out in space, but since that island was obliterated, no what related to us, we swear, we have to buy our stuff. Well, we don't have to, but we want to buy our stuff from Earth, because that's where we want to get our stuff. But we don't, like I said, we don't want to steal it because that's not the best impression, so we buy it instead of stealing it, because eventually someone would see a giant purple beam shooting down from the sky and picking up a piece of land. I haven't really changed much at all other than that from the island. I mean, the main project that I worked on today was the farmer's market, and whoa, that looks cool. The design of that. The colors are supposed to be Junior's Empire's colors, and you may be thinking to yourself, or maybe not, probably not, that these colors look very similar to Inferno Ash colors. And yes, you would be correct, except they're not. We swear. Before, I made Junior's Empire's colors the same as CDG, but CDG isn't a thing in Junior's Empire because it's in a different dimension or reality. So since Inferno Ash now has a huge industry on Earth, Inferno Ash is kind of, well, it's the biggest town on the island, and it's the biggest contributor to the island. It's the one that keeps us safe, so if there's ever another attack on the actual island, Inferno Ash Special Forces are always on standby here, and they're the veterans, so it's kind of like veterans who protect schools, except in this case, they protect an entire community. Junior's Empire is a people, not a place. Actually, I don't know if I've shown off Ryan's roller coaster in its full form now. So the interior hasn't changed much at all, at least I don't think so. It doesn't look like it has. But this has changed dramatically. So obviously much different and longer than the previous version of it. And I didn't really get to see he gave me a tour of the entire roller coaster yesterday, but I didn't get to see the last of it at the end because, well, the last of it and the end are the same freaking thing. I didn't see the press W sign, and he was right behind me on the other roller coaster, so he fell inside of me, and then we went on the ride inside of each other. So, it was kind of a first experience for both of us. In a way, it looks so cool, too. And I don't know if I've already said this or not, but it wouldn't, like, break apart and fly into space or anything. The island, this right here, would suck itself to the big island because of the gravitational pull on the island, and there's black magic inside of the core. So, like how we thought the Earth evolved, or the sun and the moon revolved around the Earth, this actually has a sun revolving around it rather than it revolving around a sun, and that's due to the black magic inside of the core. I'm still working on that concept. The main districts I've been trying to make in Inferno Ash is like industrial over here, kind of, because we have the registration no, not academy. Nope, that's not how that works. The registration facility, which I haven't filled out any registration things, and I don't know if I'm going to. I might just put in a bunch of books there, and then if we ever get someone on the island, we can just do roleplay scenarios and then fill it out as it needs to be filled out. Because there's an absolute crap ton of chests in there, and I do not want to fill them all with actual people's names. Well, fake people. The people of Inferno Ash. And then this is the loaning agency. Also, you have to go into Inferno Ash to be accepted into anywhere in the island, whether that is in Inferno Ash or in anywhere in the island. So if you're banned from Inferno Ash and you want to become a resident of somewhere else on the island, you're screwed. You can't. Then we have the hospital, which is not in Inferno Ash. It's literally part of the border of Inferno Ash. The Lawson, is it Lawson? Or is it, no, it's Fryer. Fryer Reporting Agency, which he has a crap ton of cameras. I have a story for that. I can't tell it right now because I don't have it fully developed. This is still to be... Oh, there is something new that I created. It's a house. It's a big one, too. So this is the Mo Racing residence, which... That's a pun... What the heck are you doing there? What the frick? Mo Racing is a pun on Mo Racing, because I like cars. So this one is way bigger than the other two houses that I have in Inferno Ash. Or is there more than two? No, there's only two. Well, I guess technically four. Or did I make... I'm so confused. Did I make this one house? I made this one house, right? Okay. So this is one house. This is two houses, and then this is one house. But this one is the biggest out of all of them. And I tried to make it the tallest, so it was kind of like small, big, small, even though it's medium, big, small. But in here, I have a new taste for this. I really like having ovens up there. And here is the bedroom, and I have the escape thing, so if a fire or something were to happen, it would be very ironic. But like a terrorist attack or something. And then you can go up here. This guy is a mad brainiac. So this in here is supposed to be like an optical illusion where you're not supposed to see that there's anything besides a wall. But if you have access, you can open the lever and then go back here, and then he has an enchanting table with stuff that's supposed to help you enchant, but I don't have that in there yet. So if someone gets this house, they're free to do that. Not much has changed structurally in terms of his house. The kitchen is pretty much still the same. I changed it around a little bit so it's like a fully glass dome now rather than just partially. He added a little monitor, so if he has guests over, which this looks like a couch that he would have special guests over, they can watch TV and broadcasts and stuff like that. And then he added a little fireplace, but I moved it one place to the right because I made a chimney, but it didn't line up properly because of his bathroom. Oh, he changed this around. So I didn't do anything in here because, again, this is his house. Actually, I did do something in here. I extended his bedroom back because I made his house bigger and square blockage, actually. So you can see that's actually more of a square rather than a whatever the shape it was before. And the antenna is still there because he has all the broadcasting equipment from Sam in there, and he can still broadcast music. I believe it'll reach everywhere in here. I'm not sure if it'll reach to the well, okay, so if you play music in the tower, it will only reach to, like, right about here. So, yeah, if you played music in there, it would most definitely reach the concert, but we don't use jukebox music for the concert. We use real music. So I don't know if... I'm not sure if I could record that or not, because the music he used last night was very copyrighted.